Welcome to Cultimatum, the culture of cults, a podcast dedicated to supporting survivors of cults and human trafficking. This show is hosted by myself, Anonymous Andrew.
And my name is Melody. I'm going to be Andrew's co-host. I'm also a cult survivor myself from a cult called the House of Yahweh. I am a cult advocate and creator and administrator of a cult support group on Facebook called Cult Escape and Recovery. For guests on our show, we do want them to understand that we respect privacy concerns. You can always remain anonymous or use a fake name.
And Melody, this is a safe haven for those who have been in a cult, survived, and escaped, and are now on a journey of recovery, trying to put their life back together. So join us as we learn together about the culture of cults.
And Andrew, we also want to add a trigger warning that some episodes may contain explicit subjects including sex abuse, rape, human trafficking, suicide, and other potentially disturbing topics.
Welcome to Cultimatum, the culture of cults. My name is Anonymous Andrew, and with me is Melody. Hi, Melody.
Hi, Andrew. Today we have an anonymous guest. She's going to go by the name Sarah. This episode was sparked by Andrew coming to this woman's defense on a TFU Facebook group. And Andrew and her ended up getting into a conversation, and it ended up with her coming on the podcast to talk about share her beliefs about the Twin Flames concept in comparison with the way that TFU the cult or the con handles the Twin Flames concept, and which is
really how this all started, Melody.
Yes.
Is people were angry that not just so much that Twin Flames is a fraudulent and horrible cult and everything else, and there's documentaries on it, is that there's a lot of people out. Yeah, exactly. There are a lot of people who believe in the Twin Flames concept.
Right.
The Greek mythology version. And they were angry that TFU was abominating that. So I forgot that I came to her rescue in the Facebook group. It's interesting that you remembered that.
Yes.
And you're right. That's how we connected.
That
and
is how she ended up on the show. And I am not in this interview. Let me just clarify that again, because this is, again, one of the episodes that Andrew did on the Twin Flames universe before him and I met, and this is before Cultimatum existed. So, but here we'll go ahead and let you listen to the episode, and Andrew and I will talk to you on the other side.
All right, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Greetings, everybody. Anonymous Andrew with you again. And as promised, I am doing an investigation or expose, as you might say, into the Twin Flames universe controversy. And with me today, I have Sarah. And Sarah is a member of a Facebook group that I also am a member of. So I want to welcome Sarah. Welcome, Sarah. Say hi.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. Sarah, I worked all day today, and my voice is going to be a little off. So, Sarah is joining us today in this Facebook group that was started recently. These two groups are many people who are very, very upset about the Twin Flames Universe organization that is taking the concept of Twin Flames and bastardizing that word, that phrase, making an abomination of it. Because if you haven't watched the documentary, to my audience, I urge you to watch it, and to the people in the Facebook groups who have watched it, and in the Facebook group, by the way, are family members and ex-members of the universe. So Sarah wanted to come on today and tell us a little bit about herself, and that she now has a twin flame, and she wants to talk about. Well, Sarah, take it over. Tell us why you're here today.
I I believe there are the authentic twin flames who are authentic. What TFU is doing is telling everybody that they have a twin flame, that they were created for another matching soul, which is, I believe, is incorrect. They're exposing, well, they're telling everybody that they have a perfect partner out there. Which isn't true. There are the authentic twin flames.
Yeah, and I agree. There's an expression. There's a pot for every top, or something like that. So there's somebody for everybody, but that doesn't mean that they're necessarily your soulmate or your twin flame.
Exactly.
So let's talk about that. In your definition, I think everybody might have their own concept of what a twin flame is. But by the way, I think the twin flames phrase, and you might know this more than I do, was originated in Greek mythology. Do you know anything about that?
Yeah, from Plato, the philosopher. He's the first one to explore the connection. That was 2,000, oh no, more than 2,000 years ago. His theory was that humans originally had two heads, four arms, four legs, but the Greek gods thought that they had too much power, so they were split in half. So therefore, the other half were destined to find it. The other half
Right.
went searching. That was his theory. There's also another theory with the Bible that there was 1,444, so that's 74,000 souls divided by two.
I did hear that, yeah.
And they were God's servants, I suppose, to do God's work. I'm not sure where I believe that it comes from
Right.
as such, which theory is correct. There's, I guess, with people's beliefs, where it comes from is they're up to them where they believe that it came from, or they're entitled to their own beliefs with that.
And that's exactly why I have you on, because you have your belief and your definition of a twin flame. And so tell us your story. You told me.
I have been married before, who I've been with since I was 16. I'm now 42. We separated 4 years ago. And he was the perfect partner. We had a great marriage. We've got 2 children from that. In a word, then he was my soulmate, which we always believed that. And since we've separated, end of last year, I did get in contact with an old friend from school that I've known since I was 14. And we had this connection that was unexplainable. I'd never even heard the phrase twin flame before, which is a new word. Like that, there's only been a word to describe that connection in the last, I don't know, the 90s or earlier. I'm
Right.
not sure where it came from, the word. There's now a word for the connection, I guess. So we were like, what is happening? What is this connection? We've never felt anything like it before. It's the most intense thing we've ever had, which isn't taking away from previous love connections or whatever, or anybody else's. It's just different. The purpose of meeting your twin flame is to unlock, or is to push you into your own spiritual awakening, for self-love. So to find your true self in yourself, if that makes sense. For 13 years, I've had severe depression. I've had a lot of struggles. And all my family and friends, my ex-husband, they have tried for years to get me out of this hole that I was in. To push me to make me be better again. Nobody else could do it. I couldn't do it for myself. I couldn't do it for anybody, not my kids. And then after speaking to this this friend, he then, within a month, it was already, I was back back to finding my old self again. Because they push you to become your best self. Just naturally, though. Not by anything they do or say. It's just you find
Right.
your strength again.
Right. And okay, so you were talking about the twin flames phrase, the concept that it maybe reemerged in the 90s or something, because I'm 63 and I've only recently heard that term in the last several years, floating around social media.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with the TFU, the Twin Flames universe, but the concept of two people joining their souls, or being two halves of one soul, and then you hear the term twin flame. So I'm just affirming that it's something. While it's based in either the Bible or Greek mythology, it kind of got lost for 1,000 years, and now it's back. What? So you're now with a man, and you the both of you identify as twin flames. I'm just going to bring that up briefly so you can think about it. I want you to describe what that's like for you, because if my audience and people who are just tuning in will know that I have been married, divorced. I was in a second marriage, and then many relationships, and none of them I would consider my twin flame, other than maybe the last relationship where I believed she was my twin flame, but that was a complete utter failure. What's the difference? Yeah, I'm going to. What's the difference between a soulmate and a twin flame?
Everybody can have a soulmate. You can have a few soulmates, and they can come and go. A twin flame is to find your own awakening. The purpose is for you to be your true self, and it does unlock that. And it's not. It goes past mere romance. So a twin flame doesn't have to be romantic. It can be a friend. It's not in the same family. Like you can't be your child or anything like that. Whereas a soulmate can be a grandmother, a friend, a romantic partner. Twin flames can have that. If they have that connection on the love side of it, then it is the most intense magnetic pull you've ever felt.
Wow.
But
Okay.
it does go beyond that.
Well,
Sorry.
okay, so describe what that's like for you.
The love connection. Do you mean?
Yes.
It's you still have free will, so you can make your own decisions. It's not like you can't. So, it's the most there's no other word to describe it but intense. Everything's amplified by 100. So
Okay.
you cannot physically, like he lives a fair way away from me, so I can't actually just go and see him right now. So we do spend a lot of time talking on the phone. And we just always have to have that conversation. We always just need to be in contact. We fell in love instantly. It was like it's like finding your other half. Like it makes you complete, but you didn't even know you were missing that.
Right. And I've heard that. So I had a guest on before you last week, and she described the exact same thing, that she met this person and instantly she knew that he was her twin flame, and
Yeah.
and yet they didn't start being romantic for many years later. But anyway, just to go to your point, it's almost an instant. You know instantly that this person is your twin flame.
Yeah, like I said, I've known him since I was at school, and he had a crush on me at school. But we were quite young, and of course, you didn't even use the word soulmate when you were 14.
No.
But I never felt that. And then he's always been a mutual friend of other friends, and we've been on Facebook together all these years. But I was never like I was happily married, so I didn't talk. You know, we
Right.
didn't keep in contact as such. But we've got common things that, or of course, the twin flame, an authentic twin flame has everything's the same. So what he's been through, I've been through. His personality matches my personality. His beliefs are my like they're just everything.
Everything
Yeah.
lines up.
How you raise your children, everything. Like everything's the same. So because he knows that I've had this experience as well. He just wrote me a message one day and asked how I was going, and then we haven't been able to stop talking since. But the real twin flame journey does have a lot of difficulties you need to face as well. I didn't go looking for it, and I wouldn't. It's not for the faint-hearted.
I've heard that too. Yeah.
It really pushes you, and it is quite painful to go through.
I've heard that. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
interesting because again, this is just my opinion and my experience, but when I hear the term twin flame, I'm thinking nirvana, like the ultimate relationship where it's perfect. And of course, there's no such thing as a perfect relationship. But from what I'm hearing, twin flames unions, romantic reunions, are not
To
perfect,
get to
and
the
they're
final stage, it is like, but you've got to do a lot of work. Like there's 7 phases that a twin and
Right.
an authentic twin flame needs to go through to get
I've
there.
heard. Okay, do you know the 7
whereas-
stages?
Yes. If you want Nirvana, you do. That's your soulmate.
Okay,
Well, you're not going to have all the 7 phases for a soulmate.
No.
You're just going to have the love connection that you want. The twin flame connection is you've got to inner heal. You've got to heal yourself.
interesting. Okay,
So but the connection is nirvana, so it is that. But they do go through a time of separation, which is when you're doing your self awakening,
I've
your
heard that
spiritual
too.
journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think you're in that stage now?
We've just gone through our separation phase, and we're still doing that. But we're in contact still, with the self healing and the awakening. And once both twins are fully awakened, there's telepathic. We can communicate together.
Wow.
Which we're not quite both on the awakening. I've been told that I'm more awakened than he is now because it's what pushed us both. But we both saved each other. Like I've always thought there's just like I've been blissfully happy with my ex-husband and my kids. But there's always been this, I'm looking for something that I don't know what I need or where I'm going.
Something was missing.
Yeah. And it wasn't until we discovered this and found each other, that we felt that we were finally home. But we didn't know why this intense magnetic pull was until went searching. I'm like soulmates and all this stuff. And then I found twin flames and everything was bang, bang, bang. Yep, that's it.
Okay, I'm fascinated by this, and this is why I'm doing this. This is all new to me. This journey that I'm on because I left a relationship that was just a horrible, gaslighting, toxic relationship. Although I thought she was I wouldn't say twin flame, but whatever, soulmate, nirvana person, whatever. And now I'm doing I'm staying single for as long as I can because I need to heal and yada yada yada. What? So you knew this person in high school or school. You then went off and got married, and then you separated or divorced. And then, how did he come back into your life?
Because of our mutual problem that we both had, he contacted me one day and just asked how I was going with it all. And then we were both separated, so we just kept talking about day-to-day stuff or what we've been up to over the last 20 years. And then we haven't been able to stop since. So,
Okay, now so you're separated now by distance? Like he lives in another part of Australia?
he lives in another state. He does, yeah.
Okay.
But we're both working on ourselves at the moment to be our best selves for each other. The twin flame, it's kind of like in three dimensions. It's for yourself, for your twin, and for the one source. So like
the
for the
union.
the good of humanity. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. What I'm giddy. I'm fascinated about all this because I've been on this journey to really try to understand romance and love because I have been failing at it for 25 years and or maybe even longer, and so I'm staying single until I can figure out how to do it the correct way. And in this journey, which is what this podcast is about, I'm learning about all this and hearing about the Twin Flames universe cult and this discussion group. By the way, I get the name. I'm going to give a shout out to the Facebook group members at the end. But in this discussion group, I'm hearing people like yourself coming forward and saying there is a twin flame concept. It's real, but what TFU is doing is it's making it. How would you say what they're doing to it? They're just
Well, they're not even exposing authentic twin flames. They're making a mockery out of it.
they make a mockery. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you.
Yeah, and they're misleading
Yeah.
genuine people, innocent people that are souls that are searching for their other half, which is not an authentic twin flame.
Right, and nor should you have to pay for that. They're
And no, I've
charging
not
people.
paid for a thing.
No. So you pay $6,000 or $8,000 to join, and then you get coaches that coach you into learning how to find. That's not how it works, correct? You shouldn't be
Correct.
coached to find your twin flame. Your twin flame and you will meet organically and naturally, ultimately. Okay.
Which is how it's meant to happen.
Right. Okay. I'm
You
just
don't
trying to.
find out you have a twin flame and go searching.
Okay,
That's not how it works.
I'm just trying to establish to the audience that what Twin Flames Universe, TFU, which was a documentary on Netflix and Amazon, and this cult, what they're doing to the concept is a mockery to what real humans, people like yourself and people in the Facebook group and around the world are experiencing the real twin flames concept. So, okay, next question. Do you and your twin flame have plans to be together at some point in the same geographic location?
Yes, we do. Yes.
Okay.
He's got issues he has to finalize. I've got issues I need to work out on myself, and he as well, which is the real phase, one of the phases you have to go through to be the authentic twin flame. And as I'm awakening, and he, because of our actual connection, he can feel it in a sense. So as you deepen your awakening, it will he will naturally become conscious of the spirit, like of that himself. So it'll help him heal as well, like a spiritual energy, I guess. If that makes, I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah. Because I've gone through healing and I still need to heal. What healing is being done during this separation time?
I actually have a person helping me with mine. She contacted me randomly as well. She's a natural spiritual healer.
Good.
And that's what pushes a true authentic twin flame, and it actually unlocks your own purpose, your So once you become in union with your the complete union at stage 7, that's when you're ready to start your own. And what your purpose is gets unlocked along the way of your own awakening. So whether you're an empath or to heal yourself, or you become to heal others as well, which you come into your own power and your own strengths to discover what you have.
Okay. Again, I'm just taking this all in. It's fascinating. I'm almost jealous in the sense that I don't think I'll ever, because we talked about at the beginning, not everybody has a twin flame. I'll probably never have a twin flame. I would think it's almost destiny when you're born, that you're destined to find a twin flame in your life ultimately, and I just don't think I am. But that's okay. I'll be just happy with a woman and love and romance and happiness, joy
Yes.
and happiness. Where do you, several questions are popping into my head.
Well, like you just spoke about destiny, if it's your destiny to be in the physical union with the twin flame, it will be for spiritual purpose and to help humanity in some way. And though that skill will be revealed to each. Those skills will be, they'll be profound. You'll find that in the journey as well. So an authentic twin flame is here for a purpose.
Okay.
And they're reincarnated souls. And you don't always you're not always destined to be with your twin flame in every one of your lives. I think me and Daniel have only reached union twice, previous lives. So this would be our third. Not speaking however old time is itself.
Not to go off on too much of a tangent, but the last woman I was with, we did have. You're probably familiar with the Akashic records.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we had our Akashic records done, and we did have some intervention from a spiritual person who told us that we were together in a past life. And so I don't, now in hindsight, I think that was just her way of woo-wooing me into believing in this. I don't know what her agenda was, but she had me believing that I knew her in a previous life. I recently had my own Akashic records done by a guest who was on my show, and she told me each of my past lives, and my ex-girlfriend was not in any of them. So anyway, I'm getting off topic. When's the last time you saw your twin flame?
I have not seen him for a while. I haven't actually physically seen him in person for probably 12 years.
Okay. How do you feel about that? Meaning,
before we reached our separation phase that we've just towards the end of, we had plans to reconnect, to physically to meet up just before Christmas, but then we went into the separation that we're doing now. But yeah, it's hard to be, or any long distance relationship is hard. I would not have wanted that. I didn't ever see myself being in a long distance relationship.
it's got to be hard because you're
yeah.
you're in love with somebody. You feel this deep spiritual connection with this person. You seem to be on the same vibration.
Yeah.
And yet you can't be together. That's got to be frustrating.
Yes, it is. It's emotionally and physically it's painful. It hurts.
Okay.
And because it's weird actually, because he has chronic pain and myself has chronic pain, I feel his pain
Oh,
randomly,
wow.
and he has felt my pain randomly.
How do you communicate? I mean, obviously, besides telephone, do you do FaceTime or video chats like
Yes.
this?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yep.
Okay.
We would be speaking 12 hours a day, easy.
Oh, really?
Oh, not at the moment in this because it's for us because the separation is for yourself, to, for your own awakening, and not. But yes, before that it was just constant. The minute we'd wake up to the minute, and we'd be up staying up till 3 a.m. in the morning,
Wow.
just because you don't want to stop.
All right? So let's jump ahead a little bit. So, because I'm only asking because I'm ignorant to this. Is a twin flame forever?
No, a twin flame, unless you do reach the physical union, in the physical union, a twin flame, an authentic twin flame connection actually never dies. You're connected, your souls are tethered forever. But a physical twin flame, they don't have to be, no. They're there to literally for you to just find yourself awakening and for your higher purpose.
Okay. So, not all twin flames necessarily get married, necessarily live together, necessarily create families together.
No.
No. Okay.
Most authentic twin flames don't get married, because it's about unconditional love, whereas marriages have conditions.
Correct.
So a lot of them believe that I don't know if I've reached that stage yet in the journey, so I'm not sure how I'll feel about this once it's complete. I'm now learning my own gift and purpose is, to help others with humanity and everything, which is really fascinating because I never knew I had this within me before.
Good for you.
So I'm just starting to learn how to unlock these powers that I've been gifted with. And he has the same. So together, that's what we will be working on because we do have the love connection.
Thank you. I was just going to ask you, is this a romantic, because earlier you said not all twin flames have to be romance. They could be platonic.
Yes,
So, but this is a romantic twin flame.
absolutely. This one
Okay.
is. Yeah. From
right.
my own experience, this one is definitely 100% a love. We want to be together more than anything. But like I said, if I was already married, like still married to whom I love, I wouldn't be. I don't know how I'd feel about that then. But I wouldn't have been talking to other people like this either, though. So
Yeah, that must be kind of awkward if you're married and then you
Yeah.
discover you have a twin flame. That's
yeah. So
Huh.
I'm not sure I don't know about people what they would do in their own experience, but I wouldn't have allowed myself to go there if I was married in the first,
yeah.
like if I was still
Oh,
married.
good for you. Well, I respect that. And that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
If you get married, you are during your vows you commit to that
To that
person
one
for
person.
that until either death do us part or until divorce, whichever comes first.
Yeah.
Um,
But no, him and I are in love, and what we're doing now is to better ourselves, for ourselves, for our families, and for each other, so we can be together. So I'm hoping
Okay.
this one we will be able to, because the love is amplified by 100. Every emotion is amplified by 100 though, so that's why you can't take in old trauma and fears and grief into the relationship, because you do feel each other's energies and you do feel each other's emotions. So then if your love's 100 times amplified, the opposite emotion is also that.
I'm fascinating.
Which is why it's a hard journey.
So let me ask you: you feel each other's pain. Do you also feel each other's happiness and joy?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So if you feel the love 100 times, you feel the pain 100 times.
Okay.
So that's why you need to remove all of that before you do come into permanent physical union. so you're not feeling that past trauma and past hurt, any baggage as per se kind of thing.
When's the last time you spoke to him or FaceTimed with him?
Probably 2 months until recently, until the last 3 days.
Okay, so is your separation coming to a close? How long does the separation last usually? There's no
Such
defined
time frame.
No.
Some people have been, some I've read, but I don't know if they're authentic either, have been in separation for 15 years. And at the beginning, that kind of scared me, but it depends on your own awakening and how much effort you put into your own journey. If you're willing to do the work, then you'll both feel that at the same time and come back into union, which we're
Okay.
both now just starting to do ourselves. Yep.
If I'm in a relationship, and again, not so the audience rolls their eyes, but I'll just use my last relationship as an example. If she went on a trip, which she did frequently, and I missed her, I'd pick up the phone and call her and say, "Hi, hon, how you doing?" What if you so you let's say this evening for you, you're sitting home and you're thinking about him, and you really would like to talk to him or see his face, but you're in separation. You can't, right? You have to restrain yourself and not.
Yes, you have to restrain yourself. Once we both reach the top of our awakening and reached that, we will be able, like telepathically, be able to communicate
Okay.
and feel each other, and feel each other's emotions.
Okay.
It's so bizarre. It's just nothing I ever thought. It's nothing I ever thought.
This is all
I'd
new
never
to
looked
me.
into it before.
Yeah. This is all new to me. So,
Yeah.
which is
I'm still getting my head around it all myself, to be honest, because it's only a new thing that I'm now discovering everything. But that's naturally happening. I didn't pay someone to be told any of this because none of that's.
right. Well, and that brings us back to the TFU. Which
Yeah.
is just a joke. It's a gimmick. It's a mockery. It's a cult. It's a scam. This is why I asked you to come on, because and initially I wanted, when I joined the Facebook groups and I found out about this, I wanted to have some of the actual members of TFU or ex-members and family members come on, but and I have one scheduled to come on soon, but I wanted people like yourself who have experience or are in the middle of a twin flame experience to tell us about that, because I don't think the general population understands that this exists and that it's real. And
Yeah, and that's what's hard as well, because you can't talk to anybody about it
no,
because of what TFU has done, by making a mockery of it. People just think you're a joke now, and that.
have you
Sorry?
gotten any backlash? Do you talk about it with your friends or on social media?
I've spoken to it about with a friend who is quite supportive, and she's heard of the real connection and everything. I've had some backlash about it on social media.
How do you cope
I
with
try
that?
not to actually. I probably won't discuss it on social media again now.
Okay, because of what happened the other day. Something happened
Yeah.
the other day. Yeah, yeah. We don't have to talk about that, but that's basically how we met. And,
Yes.
yeah, and I came to your rescue. Just briefly, you had a little confrontation with somebody on there, and I think she was in the total wrong of what she was doing, and I came to your defense. And then that's when I asked you to. I said, "Hey, come on the podcast and let's talk about this." So it's a shame that people who don't understand this, and I don't understand it, but I accept it, will mock it, or and not like TFU is doing, but they'll call you out on it. So if And the young lady I had on last week had the same problem. She calls herself has a twin flame, but on her social media, people are they said to her, "Why don't you cut each other and drink each other's blood?" You know, they were making joke, but it was in mockery or joking about it. And that's not what twin flames is about. It's not about that kind of.
No, it's not anything.
Nothing
like
to do
that
with
at
that.
all.
No, not at all. It's a shame. So.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Listen. I'd like you, if you're willing to come back when you finally are together with him. So whenever, if it happens this year, and whether you guys just go on vacation together or holidays, I think they call them in your country.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know why Americans go on vacations and
I know, everything's so hard.
yeah, because when I hear holiday in the British and the Australian, they say holiday. To us, a holiday is July 4th. You know,
Oh, okay, which is not actually going on holidays.
yeah, no, we don't. I'm going on vacation anyway. It's just funny. But seriously, I'd like you to come back once you and he either can physically meet up for a holiday, or finally make that geographical move. I think it's at some point, maybe one of you, when you said you both have some things you have to work out,
Yes.
and then you'd like to be together.
Yes.
Do you think your goal is to ultimately live under the same roof?
Yes, we've made plans for that.
Good.
So
Oh,
hopefully
good.
we can have those plans. Yeah.
Okay.
Hopefully we can make that happen. We both are wanting it to happen, and we believe it will happen.
Oh, good. Okay.
This year.
Oh, this year, good.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Please come back. Let's stay in touch. We're on touch on Facebook, but if you feeling that you want to share the rest of this, I would love to hear how it feels when you finally get to be together.
Yeah.
You don't have to do it the first day you're with them, but like after a couple of days, or after, let's say you go on a holiday and after 14, whatever. When you're all done with that, I'd love you to come on and share about what that was like.
Yeah.
So, okay, so let's just, I want the audience, I did promise the people on Facebook that I would mention the groups, and I didn't have the information right in front of me. So, Sarah and I met on a group called, was it the Escaping Twin Flames discussion group?
Exposing twin.
And then, all right, so we met on, so the other one is called Twin Flames Universe Exposed. And that is run by a woman named Jamie. I got her permission to say her name. She actually asked me to do it. And I applaud Jamie for what she did. She started this group, and it's in response to the documentary, and it is helping the family members and the ex-members, everybody who's being affected by this cult. And the other group is called Escaping the Twin Flames Discussion Group, and that's run by Sarah, not this Sarah. There's another Sarah that runs that group. This Sarah is not the same Sarah. I just want to make sure that they understand that. So, Sarah, we're going to wrap it up unless there's something else you'd like to share with us, but you're coming back, please.
Yes,
I'd like you to come
definitely.
back.
Yeah. I just want to make sure they know that what the Twin Flame universe is doing is not genuine.
No.
But there are authentic twin flame connections, which do not have to be romantic.
I will make this statement because I have been a single bachelor now almost on 15 months after I'm a serial dater. So what that meant was that when I was in a relationship, and when that ended, I would jump right back into another relationship. I would never take a month or 2 months to grieve or to reflect on what happened or whatever. I have now done that, and when I heard about this Twin Flames universe cult and what's going on, I saw the documentaries and I joined the discussion group. It disgusted me, and because I am looking for love and a companion, I don't know if it'll be a twin flame, if it'll be a soulmate. I'm just looking for another human being of the female gender, because I'm heterosexual, to join me in the remaining days of my days on Earth in the physical form. We are spirits having a human experience, right? We're occupying these bodies, and I would like to share that with somebody in whatever capacity the universe thinks is best for me.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, I'm investigating and putting out there my journey with anybody who's willing to listen. And so, okay, Sarah, thank you for joining us. Any parting thoughts? Normally at this point, I would say to my guests, where can we find you and who can contact you? But you're anonymous, so we're going to leave it at that.
Yep.
But I will see you on the group, and we'll talk about later. Is it okay to post this on the group?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. All right. I think Jamie and Sarah would like that. So,
Yep.
Okay. Once again, I wish you the best of luck. I think you are a brave and strong. I don't think I could do what you're doing. I honestly don't think. I don't think I could do that. I'm trying to become a better person and trying to become spiritual, and I'm trying to heal, and I'm going through my own separation of not a woman or my twin flame, but I'm just staying single so I can understand what I've done wrong for 30 years. So anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. Thank you, Sarah, for joining me today, and we'll see you on Facebook. And for the audience, hopefully she'll come back when she does reunite or unite with her twin flame.
Thank you.
And you'll tell us how that goes. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you so much to Anonymous Sarah for agreeing to come on the show and share her view and her personal experience with the concept of twin flames. And as Andrew said to her before, and maybe we will have her back on the show once she actually reunites with her twin flame. So,
yeah, I found that actually fascinating but perplexing.
yes, we'll see how that goes. I mean, if she reaches back out, if you're listening, Sarah, Anonymous Sarah, and you want to come back on the show and you've been reunited with your twin flame, you can email us at cultimatumpodcast.com and we'll bring you on the show.
Yeah, and my one thought on this was that she lives in Australia, and that just shows you the effect that Twin Flames universe is having worldwide. You know, it's this Jeff and Shalia, Bonnie and Clyde, like, you know, I almost want to laugh, are affecting people from all over the world because of what they're doing. And this woman, Sarah, joined a Facebook group about twin flames, and boy, was she angry about, maybe angry is not the word, but
upset, at least.
I just find it,
it is interesting, and I will say,
and again, this is basic.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, not only worldwide, but within that community. I'm originally from Traverse City. That was where I was born and raised. And
right,
I can tell you right now, I know the community of Sutton's Bay where they're at, too. The people there are not very happy about it. As a matter of fact, one of my son's friends, a friend that he went to school with, his dad was having a house built, and he's been having this house built. He's been building this house for like 5 years. It's like his dream home. And he just finished building it. And it just happens that it's right next door to that house.
Oh God.
And the dad is furious. He is furious because he has put a lot of money into this house. And I can't blame him. I can't blame him. I wouldn't be too happy either. I don't think anybody wants to be their neighbors. So it's affecting the people literally right next door to them. And then also people all the way across the world in other continents. It's crazy.
Yeah. And this is, I mentioned this off air to you. This is what spawned basically my investigation into cults.
Right.
Was first a woman from London, Laura, and now Sarah, anonymous Sarah. And it was those two people really that got me interested in cults or into twin flames, and then it grew from there.
Yes.
And
took a life. Took
now
on
we have a
life of its own.
podcast called Cultimatum.
Here we are. Yes.
Yeah, here we are.
So,
all right.
but very interesting episode, Andrew. So if you would like to support the show, please go ahead and rate us on Apple or Spotify. Also, please follow, share, and continue listening to all of our latest episodes.
And you can also show your support by joining our Facebook community under the name Cultimatum. If you'd like to share your story with us, you can email us also at cultimatumpodcast@gmail.com.
And if there are any ex-cult members out there that are looking for support, you can go to Cult Escape and Recovery Support Group on Facebook as well.
And you are the administrator of that, so we'd love to have you on.
I am
Melody
the
will
creator
let
and
you in.
administrator of the Cult Escape and Recovery Group, correct.
And if you'd like to hear more of me, you can find me on my other podcast, Anonymous Andrew Podcast. And we'll leave it at that, and we'll talk next week.
Out.
Okay?
Thank you.